Shall we start?
Yes, we shall. Hello, everyone. So incredibly grateful to be here next to my beloved Thomas, that will be sharing a beautiful webinar for us with one of our highest excitement that we have in our lives. And it's been an incredible healing tool for me in these intense times of accelerated transformation that we're all going through, and it's quite a lot of initiations in a row that is happening. So I'm just really feeling like I'm diving into a lot of like assistance and help from all kinds of things. And now I'm actually using this incredible frequency technology that, to my surprise, has been very much needed in my life, actually. I've been upgrading so many things since I started using this, and that's why I feel like it's a very strong empowerment tool, and just something that all light workers and also entrepreneurs and beautiful soul family should have in their lives. And also it's such a beautiful tool to be shared to other people that is needing to heal themselves. So yeah, I'm very excited to present from our amazing group Beyond Medicine Women that I created around sisterhood and around coming together to, as women especially, to empower each other and, you know, co-create a new revolutionary impactful platform for women and for sisters to just support each other in these times. And this is one of the tools that has been very much a great I would say, like, enhancer of our own frequency to keep it really high. And yeah, so I'm gonna just hand the talking stick over to this one. And thank you for being here, Tomas. And Shaka is also here, is one of our beautiful light leaders. I don't know if you want to say something, Shaka.
I have like a construction site in the background, so I hope that you can still hear me.
We can hear you well.
No, perfect. Okay, good. No, just so grateful to really have discovered this beautiful little tool of a unicorn frequency device. Yeah, it actually came into my life in a very funny way. I was giving a prayer last winter, and I was praying for a tool of of healing, both for myself and for the clients that I work with. I work with a very strong medicine, and maybe that is not for everyone. So yeah, just straight after, I stumbled upon beautiful posts from Alvina, and yeah, from that time, I feel that there has been so many changes in my life, and almost in an ineffable way where words cannot describe how like big changes and subtle changes. So yeah, feeling grateful.
Fantastic. All right, Chaka, let you mute yourself for the quality
Yeah.
recording. And I'm gonna start. All right, guys. So I'm a little bit less about sisterhood and a little bit more about science and holistic practices. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm so happy to be supporting that particular group that are really bridging the new available technologies with the ancient, more traditional ways to view reality and to heal ourselves. And Healy, what is it exactly? It's what many of us from the community would call the future of holistic medicine. And if you're here or if you're watching this recording, chances are that you're interested in feeling good or feeling great, or expanding your consciousness, growing, or even sharing tools that help to do the same for other people. And that little device, that Healy, you're going to understand why. I'm going to try to keep it short and on point, is really drawing the line into the new revolution, into the new Aquarian age. which will include more technology that are not organic, that are not coming from our consciousness, but that will support our biology and the intelligence of our body. So in a line, in a sentence, what we say to discover healing is that it's a frequency therapy. So it's working with pure frequencies, but it's based on the quantum technology. It's based on the information field technology, which is cutting edge research from science. So let's see together how we believe that this little box, this little device, but mostly the company and the vision of the community is leading the next evolution of holistic healing around the world. And also you want to know about the community because that's one of the things that excites me the most. It's a super eclectic range of people who come together to work, to share the same vision. That's regardless of our background, if we're coming from business or from already healing arts, maybe we are a sportsman or an artist, thought leader, politician, it doesn't matter because we all have to deal with our health. That's the basic number one thing to do. And Healy, it's pure frequency, so it unifies everybody regarding how to do that. It doesn't depend on what you think about it, is your opinion. It just matters what frequencies you need in your body. So we created that amazing community, and probably for the first time, they get together under the same vision with a common goal. So quickly about me, if you don't know me, my name is Thomas, and I'm just having a great passion for everything related to the non-physical and for the interaction of the non-physical with the physical. So right now, I'm studying deep advanced holographic teachings from ancient mystery schools. But I also studied a lot with the traditional indigenous wisdom, with plant medicine, with ceremonies, with prayers. And of course, like every one of us, we discovered all the tools that I call the independent consciousness tool, like meditation and subconscious reprogramming. But my background is engineering and science. So when I discovered Healy, I understood that it was actually bridging the world of science and spirituality. So my two highest excitements came together into one applicable, pragmatic approach. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. My intention is that you understand why me and also all of my team and all the people who are understanding what Healy really is, why we're so enthusiastic, why we think it's so important for people to at least know what's going on around it. And if we achieve that, then we'll be happy. All right, so let's start with Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla is a great awakened scientist of the past century, and very interesting actually to look his work up if you haven't. But he said something that really sums up everything we know about Healy and how to approach the fundamental structure of reality in the universe. He says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, you need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And a lot of the frequency technologies, whether they work with the quantum field or not, they're actually all coming together under that unified sentence. Even though it looks like in this holographic experience, there's a physical world, an external world, there's our internal world. It's really all just frequency energy that are vibrating at different scales and get dimensionalized differently. So here we're talking about the root of reality, the root of our health and our existence. And that's probably why it's so powerful, because it goes to the root of it all. So quick disclaimer, Healy has certified medical licenses in Europe and parts of Asia for only specific treatments for chronic pain, fibromyalgia, skeletal pain, and migraine. And also as a supportive treatment for some mental illnesses like depression, anxiety, and sleep. So what that means is that for this usage, the package of frequencies that's put together, it could be tested in a reproducible way by the conventional medicine standards today. For the other ones that are more based on the quantum field, they could not be tested like this. And there's a good reason for for that? It's because each of the treatments are unique to the person. So you cannot test it on a panel of participants since the treatment is different. All right, so let's dive right in. How does Healy work? In one slide. Let's see if we can get your attention on that one. So Healy is that little box. Here it's in a beautiful protective case. It looks like on the screen without the protective case. So step by step, what does it do, and what's the basis for its amazing functionalities? First, it analyzes, so it scans. It scans what we call your information field. So it scans your health data, everything regarding your physical, where you have pain, the electric nature of your cells, how the organs are communicating with each other, but also your emotions, how you're feeling at the moment. If you experienced something in the past, like a trauma that you didn't digest properly, it's still stuck in your being, in the emotional body, or also some active mental limiting beliefs. Because the thing is, even if it's in your subconscious mind, a limiting belief that is not coherent with your values today is actually like a computer that has a background program using energy to be sustained. So it creates a disturbance, an imbalance in your field. And what's amazing about Healy is that because it uses the quantum field, what we call in the information field, all your problems at any level, they are information. So they are in the field scanned by the Healy. So the Healy can scan all the little distortions that you have in your being, and that are, of course, for some of them causing issues, causing emotional stress, or even disease in your body. But it doesn't just give you information, else it would be just a scanning tool. It also delivers, once it identified what you need, specific frequencies. And those frequencies, when you receive them in your body, it can be done like I'm doing right now with those electrical cables, sending small impulses. It will communicate to my organs, my cells, my bioenergetical field to activate what is called the organic healing of the body. Because the truth is, the greatest technology that we'll probably never completely understand is the human body. In your DNA, you have already the information on how to heal anything and how to release a trauma and how to come back to a perfect radiant health. Like you cut your hand, if you put the right conditions and you clean it, it's going to fix itself and you don't have to do anything because that intelligence is there already. So the Healy, by finding the frequencies that your body is needing, is going to help the body do its job. That's why we say it's the right frequencies to catalyze, to allow the organic healing of your body. And because your body is quite complex, even if it's a hologram, it has many layers. One frequency is not enough. So what the Healy is going to do is that it's going to scan every 10 seconds to find the best frequency that you need. And after those 10 seconds, it will scan again to send the next frequency that you need. So let's take an example. For example, I have sleep issues. So I can't sleep. I want to use my Healy to see what happens. I'm going to go on my phone. I'll show you later how it looks. You select the program to help you sleep. You launch it. The Healy scans you, and then it's going to decide among the 300 frequencies that are good for helping to sleep, which one you need the most. It does that by a resonance analysis. So it finds the frequency that you have the highest resonance to, meaning the one that is the most compatible for you. And then it's going to send it to you. So for example, I can't sleep. And right now in the list of the 200 frequencies, what I need the most is the frequency to relax my optic nerves. And that's a specific hertz frequency. So I receive that. And then I need the one that is going to reduce or slow down the cerebral activity on my thoughts. Great. I receive that one. And then I'm going to receive the one that actually relaxes the muscles a bit deeper. And then maybe one on the nervous system. And then it's going to cycle back until my whole body is falling asleep. But if Malvina is using the Healy and she puts the same program, because she's a different human being, she didn't eat the same things and so on, when it scans, it's not going to send her the right exact is going to send her the right frequencies, but not the same as for me. Because maybe her problem is that she can't sleep because she's having, she drank too much caffeine or tea before sleeping. So it's more in her blood that there is this component, the caffeine, that is activating certain part of her chemical brain. So what she needs is actually frequencies to relax the activity caused by the caffeine in her brain. So she's going to receive that first. And then maybe she also needs the one to relax the muscles. So then she's going to get that. Long story short, you got it. And that's what is the most important. The Healy is creating a unique sequence of frequency that works the best just for you. And the reason is that it's not a preset program. It's creating it based on the scan of your body. All right. So that's doing a great first introduction about what Healy does. So number one takeaway, it analyzes all the imbalances or disturbance that you have in your field, including non-physical. Number two, it sends frequencies that are perfect for what your body is needing, not just random frequencies, in a generic way. It's creating a unique program, just what you need exactly. That's why it's so powerful. All right, so what type of frequency were selected for this device? Well, the 15 years of studies and the different co-creation between experts around the world, including medical professionals, put together 144,000 specific frequencies that have been studied, that have been used on patients, and that have been determined to be efficient for certain disease or certain application in the body. Of course, the universe is much bigger. There is much more than 144,000 frequencies, but it's already huge. You have a lot to play with if you have 144,000 different hertz frequency to play with. The reason why we can use 144,000 frequencies, because it's a huge number, is that no one is deciding with their mind what you need. It's using the quantum field to find what you need. That's why we can play with so many diverse frequencies, because it's automatic. By resonance analysis, the selection of the correct, maybe 100 frequency among all of those. And finally, they made it simple to use because, of course, this technology can go very far if you want to manipulate and use and scan so many frequencies. There is a bigger machine called the Time Waver, which costs $20,000, and that takes 6 weeks to get trained on how to use it. What they did the last 7 years is to compact the same technology in that little device, which works in a more automated way than the bigger version, so that it's easy to use and you don't need like weeks of trainings to know how you can feel better and correct the frequencies in your body. It just takes a few days, a few tutorials, and then you understand intuitively how to use it. So that's the goal. They made it small and easy to use so that the greatest number of people, whatever their affinity with technology, can make it work. And my grandfather is using it and it's working. So they made it simple enough for that. All right, so let's see what we can use it for, because we talked about 144,000 frequencies. That's a lot. How did they put it together in programs, or like I said before, the one to sleep, for example? On the physical level, which is why most people want to use some frequency technology, because they're not feeling well, probably in their body. For pain, for even detoxification processes and cleansing processes in the organs, the skin and fitness, we have specific programs. And for pain, you have programs for the pain in the joints, which is a different type of frequency you need than the pain in the lower back or a migraine. So for the different issues you can have, they put together the right set of frequencies. So lots to do with the physical application. But let's face it, we are all subject to mental illness, because just anxiety is a mental illness. It's creating a lot of disruption in your experience of life. Stress, same. And of course, depression, which is very common today in life. So there's programs for that, for acting on the mental plane, but it's using the same kind of frequency. It's Hertz frequency. It's just that they have an effect on the mental plane. You can also use it for work, for meditation, or to learn, because specific set of frequency is going to help you with those topics. In the bioenergetical sense, because here we're clearly talking about more than the physical component of your being, we're talking about a holistic view of your health and your being. They put together programs to harmonize the energetical field and the functioning of each of your organs, of your systems, like the nervous system, the reproductive system, and so on, and also some of the meridians of Chinese medicine, just so that you can also play and work to harmonize at the energetical level, so that you address the problem before it creates a big, painful experience in your physical body. That's the smart way. We want to work in a preventative way, so that we don't have to deal with fixing something that is broken. We just fix it before it gets broken. Finally, they have put also some programs for beauty, ladies, for the skin, for the nails, for the hair, also for how to connect more with seeing beauty in the metaphysical sense around you, and the chakras, because we can't talk about a holistic view of the human and mental, energetical, and physical if we don't talk about the chakras, because they are the mechanics that make everything work and be coherent together. The light closer to me. All right, so basically what we have is a tool that can act on several dimensions of your being. So we can call it a multidimensional harmonization tool. Fantastic. I hope I'm not losing you so far. Let's just talk about how is it possible, because we're having, let's say, a big ambition here by saying that a little device can have so many frequencies that it can help us on that many different aspects of our life. So how is it working exactly? We're not going to go too deep into all the quantum physics or the science, but just enough so that you understand what's going on in the body when you put the right frequencies. So on this simplified diagram, what we see is the Healy in the middle sends two different types of information. It sends pure frequencies, which is a physical information, hertz, 144, 244, and so on hertz, and electric currents, if you're using it like I am now, in the electric microcurrent mode. So the Healy is sending two sorts of signals. The non-physical one, the pure frequency, is going to enter in resonance with the bioenergetical field of the cells or the organs that are needing this type of activation. So it's sending the information, hey, you need to activate because in the liver, the cells are not functioning properly. So this frequency is telling you, activate the cellular detoxification, for example, because we drank too much alcohol or whatever, and the cells need to clean. But it's also sending electric currents that are carrying this frequency. So there is something that happens just because you send electricity in your body at a microcurrent level, meaning it's not zapping you, it's just subtle. It's recharging and activating the production of ATP in the cell, which is the molecule that is, in the cycle of the glucose synthesis that is creating the energy for the body. So actually many people report having to sleep less for the same amount of energy when they start to use the microcurrents. And that's normal because your cells are being recharged in energy. So if we look at a simplified model of a cell very quickly, we can see that because of different ions, which are charged particles, charged molecules, outside of the cell and inside of the cell, we're going to have, if of course it's not balanced electrically, a electric tension at the membrane. So if you have more negatively charged particles inside than outside, then there is the difference of potential, electric potential, and that is called volts. So basically what we see in this model is that based on the research of these two gentlemen, Becker and Nordenstrom, they have proven scientifically that a cell is working better if the electrical tension is enough. So basically, if there is no electrical tension, the cell cannot work. It's like it's not having the source of the energy to do its work. It depends on the type of cells, of course, but we can simplify it on this diagram. The more you are down to the bottom left, the more in abscess you have a strong difference of potential. So more volts, you have a healthy cell that can work. But the more you go up to the right, so the more you have, let's say, a less different concentration of ions inside and outside of the cell, the more the cell is aging, sick, or even goes to cancer. So coming back to the diagram here of the cell is going to work better if it's electrically charged at the membrane at the appropriate way. So when you're sending electricity in the body with the right frequencies to talk to the cell and tell it what to do, the cell is going to start to push out more ions and take in more ions to balance its electrical field, which will then give the possibility for the innate intelligence of the body to do its work, to detoxify, to clean, to close the wound, to send the T cells to attack the cells that are intrusive and not beneficial for your health, and so on. All right, I think we went deep enough for now in that explanation. So let's talk about some results before we give the floor to some participants for their direct feedback. They ran a study on a certain panel of randomized users, and they just asked, would you recommend Healy to other people? And they got actually a very high rate. 94% would recommend it to others, which of course means they had a good experience with it. And that's a huge, huge adoption rate for any kind of holistic or healing technology. If you're yourself, you're a therapist or you're helping people, you know that depending on everyone, we don't have the same response or success to a certain technique or to a method, because we're so different that we need to have different tools that resonate more for us. But here, what is amazing is that for a great number of people, it works. And probably the reason is that it's using pure frequency, which is the basis of reality. So let's say it puts everybody on the same equal stance. Okay, I think more fun also to make the presentation more lively. I'm going to ask Malvina to share her experience because you had a great one and it's very good for you to share that. I'm going to stop sharing for a second here and we're going to give you the floor. All right.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so thank you, Thomas, for this beautiful, insightful webinar. Always good to hear you speak. So yeah, my experience has been around 1 year with Healy. And it's been super profound because I suffered from a chronic fatigue for over 10 years. And it was something that was kind of like uncurable for me. I tried everything and I walked on a really like medicinal path and took really, really good care of myself and did all kinds of therapies, and it kind of guided me actually to be where I'm at in my own life as a healer also, because I had to really embody this path for myself. And it was something that started also when I was very young and I had a very low immune system. I would get sick very often, and I was kind of like a very, I would say, hypersensitive being as a child as well. So I had some real work to do on myself, but was something that was always present and that I always kind of suffered from even when I was a young girl, was that I was very, very tired all the time. I also got this kissing disease, mononucleosis, when I was 15. I got very, very sick. And after that, my physical body would just not recover. Like I had, all the spiritual energy and insights and, a lot of awakening processes, and did a lot of yoga and all these things, but my physical body would just not wake up in the morning having energy. I would wake up feeling very drained. And so I went to different shamans. I've gone to many ceremonies, and still this was one of the issues that I had. And this last year, or 2 years ago, I started doing a vision quest. And it's kind of like a prayer ceremony that you do by yourself. And one of the intentions was also to get to the bottom of why this was happening in my life and why I was kind of suffering from this chronic fatigue for so long, and just also that I was feeling that I want to have a reset of my life. And one of the prayers was also to find a tool for myself that would really help me to find that healing. It's like cracking a code inside of yourself, really. And I felt that I was very close to having this breakthrough, and I was really praying for it. And I was also praying for a tool that, because we are going through such a big transformative time here on the planet, I wanted to find something also that could be an empowerment tool for many people, to kind of like find a way to access healing frequencies in their lives, even if they can't even go out of their house. You can just have this in your life all the time. So I was making a big prayer for that. And then I came out and I met Healy, which was like a little bit skeptical in the beginning, because it's a technology that is humanly made. And I was kind of more into organic medicines and, like finding other kinds of tools. And, but I gave it a chance because I was really open to finding something that, I was open to anything actually. And I was like, okay, the universe is, answering my prayers like this. So I'm open. And so I tried Healy for, I think, like 2 weeks, and I was doing like 3 therapy sessions a day. And after that, I woke up and my chronic fatigue was gone, and it hasn't come back all this time. And I'm not using Healy as much as I did before. I have it like when I feel that that I'm going through something physically, or I'm having a process where I feel some stagnated energy, or I need, I'm training and I need it for my muscles, for fitness. But overall, since last year, I've been really feeling like it increased my energy level, my clarity, and also, when I'm holding space for a lot of people in my ceremonies, it helps me to recover quickly. So it's just been a very magical tool for me personally, for my physical body, but also for like mental clarity and just like this energetic support. And I feel like in a way, my higher self and this little device are collaborating and creating exactly like, it's like food for my body. It's like feeding myself with these healthy frequencies and just helping my operation system to do what it's supposed to be doing. So I also have like quite a sluggish lymphatic system, and I've been feeling like, some, like Thomas was sharing, like we are made out of electricity. So sometimes I have this discharge of energy where it's like it takes me time to reload again. And it's beautiful because I've been using Healy like to charge my battery. That's kind of how I see it. When I'm too much minus, I plug in and it kind of balances me. And I have my physical body is really communicating what it needs very much, and what kind of food it wants, if it wants a massage and all these things. But it also tells me like, now I want my frequencies. So yeah, I believe that this device is really like a very much a holistic approach to connect with the quantum field and downloading whatever you need in your physical body, and even on a cellular level. And your body has its own intelligence. So this is kind of like just allowing that communication to happen between you and this device. It's just amazing for me. It fully resonates on all levels, and people are like, yeah, but you can go to the ocean and do a yoga session and massage, and you can also do that. This doesn't take away from like when you sit and read a book, you put the relaxation frequencies, or if you ate a heavy meal, you can put for your intestines to support them, or if you did a big fitness training, you can put for your muscles. So it's all just a supportive thing. But if you really are sick also, this is something that can over time help you to come back on track again. So yeah, I just want to share my personal experience with that, because it's been huge for me, and it really just helped me to come out of this threshold that I've been in for a long time with my physical body. And so much has opened for me since I started using this device, and it's just been really, really beautiful healing tool. So yeah, I just will share from here, and then I will give it back to Thomas. And I want to say something also, is that since I have this Healy device, I have not been, I've started actually being able to go and train. And I also feel like I, become younger in a way, like my skin has become more radiant, and I just feel more healthy and alive. And, this feeling of like, yes, we all want to be happy, but we also want to feel alive. And it's very, very important to realize that as well, that there is this, if we're going to feel happy, we need to feel alive. And if our body doesn't feel like it has energy, or it feels stagnated and tired and full of toxins and whatever, we can't achieve that, presence of feeling this joy and health in our bodies. So I just want to, if you have this stagnation or tiredness, I really recommend just to give it a try. So yeah, that's my last sharing, and handing it over to you, babe.
Thank you. So actually, we're not going to take other testimonies, because it was a long and complete one. But you can find that for yourself, because instead of, presenting to you the best testimonies here and there, it's always better to go check yourself. So you go on Facebook, something called the Frequency Experience. Now it has more than 60,000 people, and it's a group made for people to share their own experience with Healy. So, you have to show your face and tell your story. And, it has tens of thousands of videos that are categorized with, whatever symptoms they were having. So you can use the search function that you have in the Facebook group. And, if, you're having anxiety, or you're having joint pains or arthritis, just put that keyword and see for yourself what people have been saying about that symptom using the Healy. It's always better to have you engage directly with the people who are having the experience. So maybe we can touch base on something important. Who is inventing that? Because first the intention, but also the knowledge of the people heading this type of revolution is very important. At least it was for me. So I present to you Marcus Schmicker on the right and Christian Harper on the left. They're basically at the head of Healy. They've been working together for a long time. Christian is a billionaire, so he's the money guy, and he ensures that Healy is fully funded by him. And so there is no problem of, different agendas of the stakeholders or risk to lose funding. It's basically unlimited funding for Healy, because this guy, he was kind of an investment banker shark. He got an awakening, spiritual realization, and he was like, oh, I need to use my money to help the world, actually, because I have this gift. So now he's funding vegan restaurants and different type of tech companies that are helping the development of consciousness on the planet. And Marcus, on the right, is the genius. He's an inventor. He's a quantum physicist who, after his studies, went to India because he was interested in consciousness. And he ended up being a monk for 10 years. So not quite your usual backpacker story, but he's also in the Guinness Book of Records because he proved on stage recording that he could play 25 games of chess in parallel, eyes closed, remembering everything, where the pieces were, and win them all. So it's that type of genius. And basically, after being a monk for 10 years, he received a clear guidance to go back into the world because he has the brain and the resources and the connections to create something different that the population needs. And that's the technologies behind Time Waver and Healy that are called information field technologies. So those two guys are spearheading the change with Healy. And, when you're part of Healy, you can access weekly calls with them where they're explaining their view and the new products and the new developments. And Marcus is always giving a little class on quantum physics at the beginning, and it's amazing. So just wanted to let you know who it's coming from. Now, since time is passing, let's get to the question that you might ask yourself. In case I want to try it, what are the options? So first, how does it work? You have the selection of the programs you want on your phone, looking like this. You have a colorful page with different programs telling you, oh, this is for the liver, this is for the stomach, this one is for the pain of the head and the joints and so on. So you can make your selection like this for the electrical currents. But there's also another app, another functionality that is using directly the connection in the information field, in the quantum field, where you can do a little bit more than just receiving electrical currents. It's called the Healy resonance. And here you can scan yourself to get the recommendations from the Healy itself to know what programs you need to use. So it looks like this. Oh, I want to scan in the page called balance, bioenergetical balance. And then I focus on, being stable and clear while it's scanning me. So I don't interfere with my thoughts and my emotions in the scanning process. It takes about 5 seconds. And here it's telling me, oh, right now you need the immune system at 65%. It means that we can categorize that 65% of the frequencies in the immune system program are resonant in my being. So we can, of course, indirectly say, you need to use the immune system. Maybe I was weak on that point. Maybe I was going to become sick soon. And then 54% nerves. So if you want to scan yourself to know what is it that you need, it's going to use the Healy resonance and the quantum field. But you can do even more, and that's for me my favorite part. You can scan the instant level of energy in your 7 chakras. So what it's going to do is that it's going to also use the quantum field, and within the perspective of the 7 main centers, it's going to ask for what is the current flow of energy in those centers. And of course, when you have a trauma or a blockage, it's an energy pattern that is active in the chakra and it's restricting the flow of energy. So it's amazing because you can first access for the first time in history a state of energy of your chakras on the screen. It's looking like this. But you can also scan inside the chakras to approximate the blockages that are active. So for example, when I took that screenshot, it was telling me the second line, the person has a strong need to control. So it was in my solar plexus, and at this moment, maybe I wanted to make things happen the way I wanted and not accepting the way it was on the outside world. So it activated this pattern in my solar plexus. Oh, I have a need to control. But that's restricting the flow of energy because I'm not allowing things to be the way they are. So you can use it for your personal development and imagine the power of this. You can talk basically to your chakras and ask them what are the current patterns or blockages that are expressed right now. And then of course, when you have it and you meditate on it and you're like, okay, this is analyzed by the Healy. Why, right now would I have this pattern? Is it because, I try to control something in my work or because I just talk to my parents on the phone or whatever? So it helps you, it gives you more tools to play with for your own personal development. So that's mega powerful. All right, so what it looks like right now in the offers, I'm just going to go to that slide, is a bundle. So you have something called Holistic Health. So it's a package. And inside, they already put for you the gold cycle, which is the basic, more powerful frequencies to harmonize your whole being, like balancing, purity, energy, if you're tired, relax, if you're too energized. plus the pain programs, the balancing of your organs and systems, the mental problems, the meridians, the sleep, and the skin. So already you got like a lot of programs when you have that. And right now you can get that for 500 euros. Then you have the Holistic Health Plus, which is going to disappear in 1 week. And it has all the different possibilities, the possible frequency programs. And it's 1,000 right now. And then you have the Healy Resonance, which is the best, which has all the frequency programs, plus the ability to scan the aura and to make the diagnostic, scan your chakras. And that's 1,500 for the next week as well. So basically, you have to choose which pack you want. And then, of course, we recommend the resonance, not because it's more expensive, but because you can do much more. You can scan and identify where are your disturbance in your field and, you know, play with your chakras. And you can do even more than that. I don't have the time to explain right now, and it's super exciting. Very important for you to understand why also we wanted to make this webinar today, because there is a change in the company Healy starting July 1st. It was supposed to be launched in May and June, but actually it was not ready. Now it's ready. It's launching in 1 week. So they are changing the strategy. They wanted to make it cheaper, because right now it's a promo. The resonance is at 1,500, but usually it's 2,500. And they wanted to have people have more access to it. And they also realized that if you have too many programs, you know, there's a lot you're not using, and basically you paid for them. So the new model looks like this. You have several editions, and you have some frequency programs that are included for life, like now, but most of them, they are not included. So you're gonna pay less. And then if you want to have the meridians or if you want to have the mental balance, you're gonna pay a monthly fee for that. Maybe 10, 20, 50 euros, depending on what you want to get. So they make it more modular. They make it cheaper, but with less stuff included and more modularity, more choice of what you want. You can change every month, of course, if you want to try the meridian and then you want to stop and so on. But there will still be a Healy which has no subscription, which has everything included for life. It will be called the Healy Professional here on the right. And its real value, which was like this at the beginning before they started to do network marketing 2.5 years ago, is 4,000 euros. So basically, the Healy that has all the programs for life, you just buy it one time, it's worth 4,000 euros on the market. And right now, for the next week, it's 1,500. It's right now, it's called the Healy Resonance, the one that has everything for life. In the new model, it changes name, it becomes the Healy Professional. But imagine that difference. It's becoming a Healy that is a collector. In the future, much less people will be able to buy it because, let's face it, 4,200, it's only for health professionals who have a clinic and are going to have a lot of patients. So that's why we want to encourage you to really ask your intuition and your guidance. You know, why not try the Healy Resonance now, like before June 30? Because in case you like it, you will have purchased something for 1,500 instead of 4,000 euros. And you can sell it later if you don't need it, but trust me, you're going to use it all your life. So that's the idea. The model is changing. And of course, there's something good to benefit from. It's grabbing that edition before it's not available anymore. So if you don't have a Healy yet, just know that whatever you can buy now will disappear, will become a collector. And, you know, I remind everybody we have 2 weeks to try it for free, meaning you can send it back for a full refund. So that's what we encourage you to do, is maybe ask your intuition, ask your guidance. If you feel it, it's better to get it now than in 1 week, because in case you want to keep it, and you will have, you know, saved 2,000 euros there, just like that. All right, now it's enough. What we're going to do is that we're going to open the space for questions. I know we're on several channels at the same time here. I'm gonna let that screen being shared, and I'm gonna check the chat. All right, cool, Jenny. Thank you for your compliments. So we don't have a question here. Okay, yeah, I can absolutely talk about that. So I'm just going to talk about the opportunity behind it, because in case you like it, like us, you can earn an income by sharing it later. So it's not the purpose of it of the first webinar, but it's important to understand that the reason why we're talking about it and why we're so excited is because we believe in it. But on top of believing in it and sharing the good word, we can also live from it. So basically, we can start to have an additional income by sharing something that is educating and empowering people to take care of their health with pure frequencies. And that's, that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited. It's exactly what I love to do. So they chose network marketing to share it. First time in history that a medical device is shared in network marketing. So they are pioneers on that side too. It's a unicorn product, meaning it's gonna reach the billion-dollar company in a few years. And it's great, to know about it at the beginning. It's a category creator because it doesn't have competition. Because other companies don't have a Marcus who spent 10 years meditating in India, plus who has this brain and is a genius in quantum physics. So until they can reverse engineer the life, the work of his whole life, there is no competition. There is no other technology that can do that. There are bioresonance machines that are great, that also cost so much, and they are working, but they are analyzing data in your physical body. They are not analyzing in the quantum field. And it's a cool community. We got 120,000 members last year. It's gigantic. I started last year, one year and a half I started, and now I have a team of 3,000 people. And they're coming from all different backgrounds and they're all around the world. It's so fun to work, when you want, as much as you want, and that the outcome of what you're doing is helping people with their health in a non-pushy, non-annoying way like before. So super fun, super amazing. Oh, I'm seeing a question here. Oh yeah, great question. Does it work only on Wi-Fi? No, you can work without internet, and you can also take out the Bluetooth because you don't want to walk around with the device that is emitting Bluetooth. So the internet is only to download the programs the first time, then you connect your phone to the Healy in Bluetooth just to send the programs, the frequency, and then you can stop using your phone and the Healy can work by itself. You can now turn off the Bluetooth of the Healy, like me right now. I can safely just wear it around my neck or in my pocket. This is not connected to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. It's just connecting to the quantum field through the technology of Marcus and sending me the frequency in my body. So I'm not having any EMF or issues with this. Other question, if we get it before June 30, can we still return it within 2 weeks? Absolutely. The transition of the new model is, being very fair. Until June 30, nothing moves. You have the 2 weeks to return it and so on, no problem. Oh yeah, and there is a question about, people complaining they didn't get their Healy until 6 months later. That was last year and only in some countries in Asia. In America and in Europe, it's been working really well. They have a lot of stock now because they know it's going to become huge. There's more like probably 300,000 Healys ready on the 3 continents to be shipped for the coming explosion that we're going to have in the next few months. So it's true. We had a lot of issues in Asia end of 2020. Now that's fixed. So it's a great question also to ask. And what sort of quality phone does one need to have? That's also a great question. You need to have a smartphone that is recent enough. So you don't need the iPhone 12, but I think if you have under iPhone 6, it won't work. And that's due to the iOS. So if you have any sort of phone that is 2 or 3 years old, it will work, no problem. It was also working on my Huawei from 2019, for example, so that's good enough. Great. Do we have more questions, guys? More questions. If we don't have more questions and you want to know what are the next steps, is contact the person who invited you today. Because network marketing works like this. You're recommended by someone, so they're going to take care of you. You want to buy it under their sponsorship so that when you have a question or when you have a problem, you have somebody to go to. Not like when you buy it online on Amazon or whatever. Great, great. Okay, I see no more question there. I see some people saying thank you. So the replay will be directly on the Beyond Medicine Woman Facebook group. It's by nature already available. It's going to be on, and it's going to be on my YouTube also. I'm going to upload it later because that's one of the most recent, webinars we've done. So I guess that's it. If you guys don't have more questions, we can simply close the circle. Where our ceremonial us is kicking in. So you want to conclude maybe?
Yeah, I just want to thank every single one of you for watching, for being a part of this. And we're in different parts of the world at the moment, and we're talking to the screen, but I could still feel you all, and knowing we're so connected. And if you have any personal questions about the webinar, about the Healy, please contact me or who invited you, and we can just jump on a call anytime and talk about life and Healy and frequencies. I'm open. And yeah, so grateful for you, Thomas, for your incredible, brilliant mind that has put a lot of energy and effort to study this. And Thomas is doing a lot of beautiful things online for people, and I really recommend to check his YouTube channel out. There's many more things that he's sharing there. So yeah, if you're interested about also some other things around technologies and healing, and he will put his YouTube channel there, so you can.
Yeah, I can put it in the chat. It's called Resonance Frequencies.
Yeah.
It's a growing channel, growing success.
Yeah. So good to see you, Chaka, and beautiful face. And yeah.
See you as well.
You want to say something, Chaka?
Just express my deep-rooted gratitude for this beautiful circle today. Yeah, I just feel so. I was talking to my friend Shireen today, and we were just getting all excited about we're having a retreat coming up now next week, and just this way of like fusing together like own angel traditions together with frequency healing. Yeah, I think it's something that I was very skeptic about in the beginning, but I just see how it works on so many different levels. So yeah, very exciting.
So cool.
Thank you.
Just to mention why we call it Beyond Medicine Woman, it's just that we have so many incredible sisters from all over the world that have really walked this medicine path and learned a lot of these ancient technologies that comes from different tribes and different traditions, and really embodied a path of devotion towards healing and towards sharing magic in ceremonial spaces, and all these other kinds of very ancient technologies. And yeah, and somehow a lot of these women from all over the world got attracted to this device, because I think that it's just this timeline is opening up where we are actually fusing these ancient technologies with this Aquarian age kind of that is emerging. So this is kind of why we call Beyond Medicine Women, because we're all entering a new age where science has to meet spirituality, and spirituality has to meet science, and we are like kind of in that like laser sharp edge where we are bridging these two worlds together, so the invisible becomes visible, for those who have a very right side brain, wanting to. Women are more intuitive and we just feel things, but you know, and this is very interesting because Marcus put in words into what the quantum field and how it actually operates and through our consciousness. And so it's just very interesting, you know, to learn about it, to study it, to understand it, that how this quantum energy field actually works. And a lot of us are just in tune with it. We just know, you know, some people call it Akashic records or whatever, but we just know intuitively. So we are like a Healy device ourselves. But this is kind of like, you know, a way to go into another sort of school, you know, because everything is a school in a way for us to learn from. So yeah, we just wanted to add that, why we call ourselves Beyond Medicine Women. And we're doing all kinds of fun things together as a sisterhood. And you know, if you feel interested to just talk to us about it, please connect with me and Chaka. Yeah, sending so much love and thank you, my love.
Thank
Blessings.
you.
Blessings. Thank you all for joining.